multi-tool. Actually, meron ng ganito. You have this. If you have this, usually you should have this. It is going to give you all the necessary sizes of Allen wrench. Usually, meron niyang 6mm, 5mm. You can see the markings there. 4mm. It's normally the 5 and 4 that are very useful. Okay. Hello, dog. So, in my case, pagdating sa grip, I want the brake levers and in this case yung shifter lever to be exactly kung saan ko gusto. But of course, pwede kong i-adjust. Normally, I mark it like this. Ginagasgasan ko para alam ko kung saan yung line. But of course, pwedeng tapean mo lang. You don't have to gouge the area. Now, how do you change it? You get the right size Allen wrench. Just loosen it. Normally, pag loose na siya, pwede mo na siya igalaw. So, you can change the tilt depende sa preference ng kamay mo. See? So, if you want, you can change the tilt by loosening. Very straightforward design. Tapos, when you have the tilt right, kung gusto mo na yung nakuha mong tilt, you just tighten it provisionally. Well, that's roughly my setting. Okay, there are basically two levers dun sa shifter. This is the bigger one, yung malapit sa thumb, and then that's the farther one, yung malayo sa thumb. Okay. As you can see sa left side, wala ako ng shifter lever dahil yung chain ring ko is just one. Nag-iisa lang yan eh. Normally, there's going to be a lever dito kung more than one itong ring na to. Kung let's say 1 and 2, like in older designs. But since I am using a single chain ring lang, wala na akong kailangan. Hindi ko na kailangan ng shifter dito dahil there's nothing to shift to. Just one. So I don't need the lever here and I don't need yung cable. Ang shifter na lang na meron ito is the one at the back. Ito, the rear derailleur. Yan. Okay. So the rear derailleur moves like so kasi it actually guides the chain over the different sizes ng cog mo, yung cog set. So that's how you shift it. Now, pag yung chain nandito sa lowest, sa smallest cog, pinakamabigat yung feeling sa pedal at saka mabilis yung takbo niya. But as you go to a higher cog, bigger cog pala ito, the biggest one, gumagaan yung pedal, bumabagal yung takbo. Now, we normally go to the bigger cog pagka going uphill. Pero kung flat ka or going downhill, you go to the smaller one kung gusto mong mag-pick up ng speed, if you want to gain speed. Normally, it just depends on kung ano yung kaya nung hita mo. If your legs and thighs cannot handle a smaller cog, mas mabigat yung feeling niya, then you have to shift to something bigger. So pag mas maliit yung cog, mas mabigat ang feeling on the pedal, mas kailangan mo ng puwersa. But if you're engaged with a larger cog, a larger sprocket dito, mas magaan yung pedal, mas mabagal ka nga lang. Okay, so smaller cog, faster turn pero heavier, bigger cog, lighter turn but slower. So this is actually low gear, this is high gear. This is from high to low. So yung takbo ng derailleur mo is from high to low or vice versa, low to high. High to low, low to high. Baliktad. So what does this mean? Itong thumb na to shifts the derailleur going to the bigger cog. Yan. So every time I press this outer shift, gagaan yung pagpedal mo. Babagal ka rin. Then if I want to go back to a higher speed pero mas mabigat, I just release it using the farther one, yung mas nasa So basically from here, lilipat ko yung thumb ko doon and I just click on that. So every time I click, bababa yung Okay. So I'll put the chain on kasi yung chain nilagyan ko na langis eh. I'll put the chain on and then tingnan para makita mo yung shifting niya. Okay. Ito yung link niya, no? The locking link. See? So this goes here. So this is what we use to lock it in. So this is the relationship ng chain. Chain. So nakaganyan yung chain. So the chain comes out do sa itaas ng inner jockey wheel. Tapos it goes around the tag. So ngayon kailangan pagdikitin ko tong end na to. And the other end which is going to loop around dun sa pedal. Pag ganyan. I take the other one, then lang ilalak natin, make it together. So buo na siyang chain ngayon, then I just have to put the chain here. Okay. And turn this switch on. Well, itong model na to has this clutch switch. Some derailleurs have it. So this is what you call the rear derailleur or the rear mech, the rear gear changer. And kung meron ka pang additional ring dito, may front mech dito or front derailleur, but in this case you don't. So this is how it works. Remember, pagka ginalaw ko to, atras yung derailleur. So as I turn the wheel, pagka-clinic ko to, yung the bigger one, the one outside. Ayan. Yun ang mangyayari doon sa ano. So, mataas siya. So click doon. So that's what makes the chain move across the cogs. So if you're going uphill, you have to press this para gumaan. If you're already done with the uphill part, nakaahon ka na, you release it through here. Yeah. So that's how you do the shifting. Now, sa opposite lever, baliktad. Kasi may parang mirror images yan eh. But the bigger, the thumb switch for the left side, kung if you have it, okay, when you push on that, it's actually designed to make you go faster. Kaya lang, mas bumibigat umahon. If you want to make it easier going uphill, you have to press this one, the smaller one. So baliktad yung setup ng kaliwa. Okay, but it's good to practice with this side muna. So if you're flat, okay ka lang, you can play around with the gearing dito. Then pag paakyat ka na, you push this unti-unti. Or before kang umahon actually. It's harder to shift the gear kung naka-engage ka na on the uphill climb. Mas maganda, i-click mo to just before you go the uphill climb. Para ready na yung legs mo at saka ready na yung gear to shift. Yun. See? And that's how it shifts. Pag nandun sa smallest cover, sprocket yung chain, mas mabilis yung ikot ng wheel. Pero mas mabigat yung ikot. Mas mabigat yung pedal. So if you're going uphill, you have to shift to a larger cut. Pataas ng pataas. So yeah. So now if I'm going uphill, dito ako naka-engage, not on the smaller one. But if I'm trying to pedal for speed, I into a lower gear. Mabigat pero mas mabilis. So normally you use the smaller one pag flat ka, you use the bigger one pagka uphill lang. Standard. And that is our short tutorial on how to use this mechanism, gear shift for drivetrain. Okay? Ayos ba? Okay, so the wheel is off. Whenever you take off the wheel, front wheel or rear wheel, since this is disc brake system, okay, pagka ibabalik mo naman, you're going to put it back. You want to make sure that the brake pads, these ones, okay, are back to the default position. Because normally they will they will move inward. As you can see, it's moving. So I'm depressing the brake lever. So you want the brake pads to go back out to their default para maka-adjust sila. Now, one of the things I do to fix that is I take these. These are tire rods. These are plastic levers, or they're used to take out yung exterior ng tire. See? They can come in different colors. Ito black. Some will market this as white, or white, red, and blue, something like that. But aside from being able to use this to pry out the wheels, aside from prying out wheels, they can also be used to readjust the brake pads. So take the tapered end. This is the end that supposedly goes under the tire. Take the tapered end and then insert it dun sa loob. Pag ganun. See? Tapos, this will cause the brake pads to get pushed. So they're going to push the brake pads, and they're going to push the piston going out. So normally when you can already do this, I normally flip this like that and then use this end and then put that end in. You should be able to put it in. So that basically resets the brake pads and the pistons. They get pushed back out so that they have enough space to readjust pagka naglagay ka ng ganun. So once you're done with this and you've maximized the clearance there, see, yun yung clearance na yan. Can you see that? And clearance. It's all wide now. There's enough space to put in the disc, the wheel actually. Yan. So I'm going to retighten this para mahigpit na mahigpit. This is a larger axle, a 20mm through axle. Kaya malaki tong hub, saka malaki to. It's different from the cross-country model na skewer lang ang inilalagay. So, because this is for downhilling. So once that's done, I want to check the alignment ng brake pads. See, so as you can see, there's enough clearance in between the brake pad and this. But when you put the bike back up, tapos you start pushing on the lever, it's going to reset. So best way to know if you've centered it, of course you look at this. The center of the rotor should be in line with the midpoint line ng brake. the rotor, this rotor over here should be directly in between yung cavity. Ayan. So you have relatively equal spaces on this side and on this side of the rotor. When you spin it, you want to check kung hindi nagwi-wiggle yung rotor. Saka if there's no sound, kasi if you spin this and then you hear a periodic sound na parang may nagra-rub, maybe your disc brakes are rubbing unnecessarily. Okay. So that's basically how you recenter or reset the disc brakes. So pwede na to. Then I'm going to put the back wheel. Sa back wheel, same thing. As you can see, this actually shows the gap better. See the gap here. You want to place the tire lever in like that. So that will push both pads and pistons palabas, outward, giving you enough space. See that, and then later on this should fit properly. See, so that's what you do before you put in the wheel and the disc. Also, when you've already done this, you can clean the surfaces. You can clean everything here. You can clean. Don't let anything na oily get in between. You don't want getting oil here kasi breaks yan. So the nice thing with this is you can move it. You can move it out. You can move it forward or backward. So if I'm going to place the wheel like so, kung tatama siya, I can always move this back. See, so that it gets out of the way. So again, inspect the brakes. You want to make sure na walang sayad yung brakes and brake pads. And you want to make sure na hindi nagwi-wiggle yung rotor. This is the rotor. It's all centered. Nothing's catching. Nothing's impinging. Should be silent when it does that. The only thing that should be making a sound is the free wheel. Kung magho-hold yung free wheel. Okay, so after putting it upright, you'll see na ang laki ng clearance ng brake pads. See? So you have to pump it again by pumping the lever. So you just do this.